Guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna design a simple band. This is also a friendly tutorial, very easy for beginners. And if you didn't watch the first video, on the first video we did a simple solitary, a basic ring. If you like, go back there, watch it. And we're doing the band today that's gonna be a matching bridal set, and you can follow along. It's a very easy tutorial. On the first tutorial, I forgot to tell you guys how do I get this box here. The box, you remember, you can do this open and close, make a little narrow. It's over here, okay? You double click, you turn it off, double click, turn it on. So let's go to the jeweler's bench and get our tool. So we'll click on this plane. We'll come over here. This first tool is the ring builder. Click on it. We're going to do the same size as we did the ring. We're not going to define plane because you don't need. I already defined the size that I want the band to be, so you don't need that. We're going to click OK, and you have the finger size. Now we're going to do the profile for the band. You click on the plane. We go to the sketch module. And over here, we have different ways to do the same thing. And as you guys know, every person that designs with the same software will have different ways to get the same result. And sometimes it's easier for you to work one tool, or sometimes it's easier to work with another tool, but sometimes different tools will give you the same result. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few curves here that's different ways, and it'll give you the same result. The first way would be just getting this asymmetrical curve here, and you just do what we're going to do, a rectangle, and then you click OK, and you fix as you please, and you have a rectangle. It's decent, it's okay. There's another way for you to do this with more control. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's OK this, click on it, delete this one. So you get the same tool, and then you come over here and click this snap, this little magnet tool. That's going to be the smart snap. Okay, click on it. You're going to see that highlights. So now I click here and here, and you're going to see as I click, unless I go all the way far, but if I do a little movement with my mouse, the curve stays in place. Look when I turn it off. A little movement, the curve follows my mouse. When I turn it on, little movement stays. And this is very nice because you can do more controlled curves. So I click here, and you see that I don't need to fix my points anymore, unless I do this, but that's not the point. You're making a square, so you don't need to fix anything. You click OK. So this is faster to do like that. And a third way, let me delete this. Third way would be getting rectangle tool, turn it on, and you make, I'm sorry, that's a good thing that it didn't work. See, if you get a rectangle and you try to make a rectangle and doesn't go anywhere, it's because this tool is on. So look up there, turn it off, and now you're gonna see that you can do your rectangle. So this is nice because over here you can do the size that you want, the width, the height, and over here in fillet, you can do round corners or chamfered. Round corners, you do like that. And you see, you can round a lot or a little. And you can do chamfered. Also, you can do a lot, a little as you need. Sometimes you need a shape like that, so it's very helpful. For this, you're gonna do just round a little bit, just to cue the corners a little bit. And over here, if you have to, you can center your shape. We click OK, and you can get out of here. So now, on this view, we're gonna run the profile on the ring builder. You click the ring builder, you come over here to the sweeping wizard, click on it, and you're gonna do create one single surface. You're gonna click in section, plus sign, and you're gonna get the profile that we just made. Click on, click over here, you're gonna see that the profile is snapped up there. So now we can decide how big we want the band to be, how thick, how wide. So I decided already that my band is gonna be 2 millimeters by 1.5. So let's uncheck keep ratio. We're gonna do 2 millimeters by 1.5. You see that changed already. And you're gonna go with white gold 14K. In case you didn't see the first video, you click over here to get the material, and you're gonna have this menu to choose from: gold, carats, and color. You're gonna double click and you're gonna have it there. So in that case, you're gonna do yellow 14, and you are okay with all that. So you click OK, and you have the band. So now, after you have the shank done, we're gonna do the stones. We click this plane, we're gonna go to stone, click on it. So I decided that I want my stone to be 1.7 millimeters. So over here, 1.7 millimeters to pointers. Over here, you have some decision to make when you are designing with the stones. Reason is, some printers, like my printer, it has a shrinkage. Some printers doesn't. Some casters say that their cast shrinks. Some say it doesn't. So it's very hard for you to decide what you're gonna do, for whom you're gonna design. Because I design and print my models, I know that my printer shrinks. I already leave 0.2 millimeters bigger for compensate the shrinkage. So if you are starting with this and you don't have a printer and you are going to send to print out, make sure with the person that's printing for you if their print shrinks or not. The person that's going to cast for you, make sure that the cast shrinks or not. And this is one thing that once you establish and see who is going to do for you, it's going to be easy for you to decide if you have to add shrinkage or not. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna do 1.7 millimeter and I'm not gonna count shrinkage at all. So we click OK, and we have our stone over there. Let's hide the stone flush to the plane. So now let's put the stone on top of the band. So you click the band, go to this tool here, advanced pavé, click on it, and over here, we're not going to put stone by stone all the way. We're going to speed up this process. So for that, we have here 1.7 millimeter, and you can change here as the size of your stone is going to be. In our case, 1.7 is our stone size. Since you're not going to do one by one, we come over here with symmetry, click on it, and symmetry is going to give us the ability of doing whatever you do here, the software is going to repeat on the other side. Okay, so it works like this. You click on it, you get the plane that you're going to do the symmetry. You're going to get this one, because whatever you do here, you want to duplicate over here. I always like to do symmetry on this plane also, because when I do here, when I put the stones on, it snaps a little easier and I don't have to be guessing where the stone is gonna be. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's go back to here. Let's click add and start adding the stones. So the first is gonna be the center stone. And see, I don't have to do much. I just click over there. If I do this, you're gonna see because I did this plane, you see that whatever I do in this side is going to be in the other side also. So you don't want that. You don't you want to just one. And now let's keep adding stones. Let's bring closer. Now, see what I mean? I am trying to move my mouse, and you see I'm moving my mouse, but because I put symmetry on this one, the stone is more stable. We click here and you see it's gonna go and duplicate there, and you keep doing here. Keep going. We're gonna do half band. And half band, of course, is gonna be right here where our plane ends. So as you see, everything that I put here shows in the other side. If I move over here, if you want to move any stone, you come over here and there's a move positions and you can edit the position of your stones. As you see, when I click one and I move, you see that the other side always also move. And this is always going to be like this, okay? Whatever you do in this side, if you have a symmetry on, it's going to happen in the other side. So I'm okay with that. I like it. Let's click OK and get out. Now, if I am going to do the jeweling, which is we click on the pavé, you come over here to this tool, click on it, and we're going to duplicate this stone, and automatically it's going to go to all the pavé that we just did. We click object to duplicate, which is our stone, and you see that populates already there. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to show you something. If you do just what I did and click OK, you're going to notice that the stone is going to come flush to the band, because whatever the position that you have your stone here, higher or lower, it's going to reflect the same when you put your position, your stone in your pavé. So let me go back and let me redo it, and I'm going to save the stone. So we do that. Object to duplicate. And let's keep the original, okay? So this way it's easier for me to show you what I mean. Okay, so now we have the stones there flat, flush to the band. Reason I don't like to do that, because if you do flush to the band and you do the cutters are going to open the hole for the stone in the exactly size of the stone. When the setter is going to set the stone, the setter is not going to have much to grind. He might grind way too much, and then your stone is going to go all the way to a hole. So what I do is, you can go back here to the stone. You see that everything highlighted there. It means that I am moving something that tool used. So let's go over here. By experience, I know that if I move a little bit up, and this little bit is, see, 15 millimeters. It's exactly what I move usually. So if I move a little bit, that's going to be enough for the stone to be a little high. And then when the setter does the setting, it's going to be perfect. So you click OK, and we recompute, and now you see that the stones are a little higher, 0.15 millimeters higher than it was before. So let's hide this now, and we have our stones. So now to do the prongs is the same process. You click on the band, come over here to the advanced pavé, click on it. Usually I do my prongs depending on, of course, the size of the stones, but usually 0.7 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters. Zero point 0.7 is more what you are going to use, or at least it's more what I use. I design with 0.7 millimeters. Okay, so we click over here. We want a 0.7 millimeters prongs. Again, because we did symmetry with the stones, of course, you're going to do symmetry for the prongs. So we click Add, Plane. I'm going to click this plane, Add, Plane, this plane. So now you have symmetry, both planes. Come back here. You have 0.7 millimeters for our prongs. And let's start adding prongs. Now, with the prongs, you're going to see whatever I do here, it's over there. See, for prongs, it's awesome because whatever I do here goes there, and I'll do one pass and that's it. So now I keep moving. So this every prong that I do is going to be facing me, because if I do like this and I add a prong here, when you see facing you, you're going to see that the prong is not in the right place, right? So every prong that you do facing you as better as you can. So you do another prong here. And for the prongs, you see here, this little bit that you leave touching the stone is enough to have a good setting. Okay, you don't need to leave the stones. Actually, you cannot have the stones too close or too separate. This is a sweet spot for stones. Okay, let's keep doing. Let's keep adding the prongs. Oh, also, guys, I forgot to tell you, if you want to do move your piece like that, you press both keys on your mouse and you can move, okay? And here is the middle wheel. So you do that, and that's it. Let's click OK, and you have it. Let's hide this stone. You don't need it anymore. You don't delete, you hide, okay? So now we need the prongs. We come over here to prong, click on it, and over here you're gonna build your prong until you define what's gonna be rounded or fillet, and you decide the size. It's not gonna show anything. You decide thickness of your prong. You used 0.7, you have 0.7. You decide the height of your prong. I like to use 1.2 millimeters because, and then you click center and your stone is going to be there. The reason I like to use 1.2 millimeters, it's because I don't like my prongs being just touching the surface. I like my prongs being digged in, deep in my shape. It's less problems with bullion, and you always sure that the prongs are not floating. Over here, as you did with the stones, if you do prongs just like that, they are going to barely touching the surface, and then you're going to have problems with bullion. You're going to have a lot of problems. Usually I do 1.2 millimeters and I do minus 0.4 millimeters, which is going to bring my prong down. See, it came down, and I'll click OK. So with that, I'm going to leave the prong here, because when I put over there and you see that the prong is sticking out too much, you can change over here and see the right position for you, for your liking. So let's click the prongs. Let's do jeweling again. Object to duplicate is gonna be our prong, and you see, jumped over there. See what I mean? See how deep is in the band? So that's what I want. I want to make sure that my prongs are in, and I am happy with that. And when you see the prongs over here and it's not sticking up too much, this is by experience, guys. I see some designers, they will do, let me okay this and I'll show you. When you okay something, you forgot to save original, you come over here and your prong is going to be here. Okay, so you can double click, you have access to your prong again. I see some jewelers, they will do prongs like this much. Let me show you. This much, just a little bit. I personally don't like to do that because that gives the setter a very little metal to work with. Because I am also a bent jeweler, I like to have, more metal to work with. So when I design, I think how this design is going to work for someone that's finishing, for someone that's setting. You always have to think ahead. It's not just doing this, okay, you have the prongs there, but after you print, polish, how much metal is going to be here for the setter. So that's why I like to leave, as I told you, minus 0.4, which is going to be plenty for shrinkage, polishing, and the setter is going to be very happy because they will have space to finish and bend the prongs and have a ball. So we're good with that. Let's get the stone, and now we're going to do the cutters. We click on the stones and come over here to cutters. Okay, so for cutters, it populates automatically for us. When I design, I don't like to cut the prongs. I like to leave this for the setter to decide what they want to do. You're gonna see here, if we do that and you don't boolean this, when we do the boolean for the cutters are not going to cut the prongs because the prongs are not attached to the band. So that's what I mean. Let me show you this first. Over here you have the options to change your cutters. Okay, so you see here when I put the cutters, I have option here to have the cutters drilling through the band or not. And when you do not, you're gonna see here that the cutters are going just to the tip of the stone. When you do like this, you can bring a little bit down, so see the cutters, you make a little longer. That's going to be in this tool here. But in this case, we want the hole underneath. So let's go to this one. And because I moved the stone, the cutter got thinner. So we can move back here and make thicker. And you can move over here and you can move. See, when I move here, you see that my degrees here on the cutters change. Of course, you're not going to make a hole that big unless you want. This is all your design style. So I usually do this. I think it's enough, even a little less. I don't recommend you going too small in the hole because if you have a very small hole here, when your piece goes to the casting, the holes are going to trap investment and that's going to mess up the whole casting. So don't make those holes too small and not too big either. Just nice enough to be pleasant to the eyes. So you come over here. If you want to make these cutters shorter in this way, you come over to the third icon, and over here you can make them smaller. In this case, we don't have to because it's not touching anything, but you might design something that the cutters will be touching the stone of the ring or will be touching another detail that is part of your shank, so you can always make it smaller here. Okay, so over here over here you have different sections for the bottom of your cutters. Okay, so you have the round one, If you click here, you're gonna see that your bottom cutters are square, diamond shape, stone shape. Stone shape's not working. Nope, not working, but it's okay. And over here, you also can get a custom shape. If you decide to design maybe a little flower and you want your flower show at the inside of your band, you can design the flower. You're gonna pick the hand and you're gonna pick the flower. Okay, or if you wanna design, you wanna the inside of your band have the shape of one of these shapes here that are pre-made for us, you can get them over here. You have a lot of different shapes, and not that you're not gonna use this, but maybe you're doing something odd, so you always can go through. That would be nice for under cutter. This would be nice. You can play, you can be creative, but for now we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do just the round, regular round shape. We're gonna click OK, and that's it. Let's bring this and show this part. So over here, before we do any boolean, we're gonna do cutting only on this part, because as you see here, the shank is one part, the prongs is another part, and they are not boolean together right now. So before we boolean, we do shank, the prongs. When you are doing the boolean, always the last object that you're gonna pick is the one that's gonna be take out. You wanna take out the shape of the cutters, right? So you want your band and then your shape, and you click on boolean. You're gonna have boolean plus is when you add all together. Boolean minus is when you are taking the multi-cutters from the sweeping wizard. So we are taking the cutters from the shank. All right. And intersection is interesting too. And I'll do a video with intersection to show you how cool it is, this boolean, because sometimes you want to just the shape where two shapes merge. So you have one shape and another one intersected, and you want to just I'm sorry, you want to adjust the result of that intersection. So that will be it. Okay, but for now, you want to just take the cutters from the band. We'll click OK, and we have our holes down there. And if you hide this, you're gonna have a nice set for your stones. Let's bring out back. So now for us to do the boolean, because when you are doing boolean, all prongs, when you do prongs, when you do mill grain, little balls, little details on your design, it's better if you boolean that first and then you add them to the band or whatever piece, because if you do all at once, that's going to take longer for the software to do the boolean for you. So we click here and you're gonna add all of them together. So we add, click OK, and see that was really quick. If you're doing the prongs and the band, would take a while. So then you click the band, the prongs, the order does not matter, okay? And you're gonna boolean again, plus, and now we have one whole piece. Now you see that they are all together, and we have our band done. As I showed in the first video, if you wanna change the color of your material, you can click on it, come over here, and you can do yellow gold, double click, or you can do yellow gold. Now you have to accept, or you can click here and you do pink gold. Okay, so if you have to show your client in different, sometimes people say, oh, I want to see the same ring in different colors. So that's the way you do. So let's undo, because our color is white and we have the band done. So from now, we're going to get the weight of the band. Click on it, get the little weight, and click OK. And this band is going to be 2.27, approximately 2.27 grams in white gold. We don't need the weight now. Let's undo that. So now you have it, a simple band, but the details of the cutters, that's the same that you're gonna use in everything that you do. The height of the prongs, the way you put the stone. You're going to use that if you want to follow the way I do. And eventually, you're going to find your own way because, as I said, each person designs differently. And they can use the same design, the same software, and they design completely different. And that's the way I design. That's my sequence. Other people use the same 3 design software and they get to same result with another completely different way. So this is very personal. I am showing you what I do and the tools that you can use to achieve this result. So when you learn, if you're learning or if you know already and you have another way to design the same thing, this is it. That's the way it is. You can have different results. I'm sorry, you can use different tools and have the same result. Okay, so that's the way I do this band. And yeah, guys, that's all for today. Thank you if you are with me to the end. Thank you very much for being here. And I'll be posting more tutorials. I'll be posting different tutorials. And I hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. And yeah, we see each other next time, and keep watching, keep learning. Don't give up. If you are a beginner, don't give up. It could look difficult at the beginning, but it's not difficult. It's very easy. 3Design is a very easy software to work with. You're gonna see when you learn more. It's really, really easy to work with. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope to see you next time and keep designing. Bye, guys.